Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Broken Berean. Today we're going to talk Mario Kart. Well, before we get into the article, I did watch the World Championship last weekend that was in Japan, followed by the World Championship, which meant I got about 2 hours of sleep before I had to get up to go to church. And I saw this vehicle that we're going to talk about used a lot. And I saw two other vehicles that were used primarily by most players. And it was just everyone seemed to have a different character, pick different character. Yoshi did seem to pop up a lot. Um, Characters varied widely, but the carts themselves, as I watched, there was three that always seemed to come up, and they would switch between different tracks when they'd reset their setups, and but there was three that always came up, and so I was curious when I started this article. I was like, I wonder what's going to be. I will admit, I don't remember seeing the driver selected, but maybe a couple, maybe once or twice, but it didn't register to me that someone was using that character all that much. But if you want to go back and watch it and see how those people did, that it's on Nintendo's YouTube channel. You can go check it out. It's actually quite entertaining, and it was really, really quite exciting just to watch. I mean, these are top level players. Like I couldn't compete with them if I tried. So, but basically, what this article is someone took the economic principles of Vilfredo Pareto, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. My Italian's not good, but he's an Italian economist, and his economic principles were used a while back to pick the 14 best fonts to use, period, based on economic principles and studies. And this is, you can determine what's the best thing all around. And the study came to the conclusion there were 14 acceptable best fonts. And I haven't seen that study, but I'm going to go look that up later because that sounds interesting because I'm a bit nerdy. But what it comes down to is they use the exact same economic principles to figure out the best prime, all around, most versatile setup for Mario Kart 8. So let's scroll down and just take a look at what they come down to. It's got a lot of just explaining, how many over 25,704 possibilities when you discount all the duplications and color variations. But what it comes down to, where is it? There it is. The best ideal setup, according to these economic principles, is Cat Peach driving the Teddy Buggy with roller tires and the Cloud Glider. Now, Cloud Glider was used a lot, and I wasn't really paying attention to the tires because when you get 8 people on a screen on a stream, it's hard to kind of make out exactly what tires everyone was using. So I just didn't even try to pay attention to what people were using. But this is the ideal setup: Cat Peach driving the Teddy Buggy with roller tires and the Cloud Glider. Now, when I was watching the World Championships last week, this is what I did see. Here's the Teddy Glider down here. If you don't know what it looks like, little blue Teddy. It's ATV class. But the other two I saw most often, in addition, were the Streetle Cart and the Mr. Scooty Bike. Those were probably the top three vehicles I saw being used in the World Championship of Mario Kart 8. So I found it very interesting that even though I saw the Teddy Buggy, which I don't think I've actually used but once or twice just to play with when I'm playing with my kids just to see how it does, I've never really considered it. I pretty much use a standard all Link setup because I love Link. And I was very, very amazed that this is what they came up with. And you can see this is the roller tires, it's the red ones, but a lot of people also use the Azure rollers, which I think is just, I think the stats are pretty much the same, just slight variation between these two rollers, but these are the ones you primarily see in competition when you're not looking at 8 people, 6 people going head to head. So I just thought this was a fun article that popped up. It was like, okay, let's use economic theories to pick the best Mario Kart setup. Now, I'm going to find out in a couple weeks how well it does against my kids. I hope it's going to be fun. I hope my kids actually make fun of me because I don't think any of us ever pick Cat Peach. Ever. We switch around and play with different drivers, but Cat Peach never seems to be one of them. Uh, it's always an NPC player, CPU player. It's never one that we pick. So I think I'm not going to tell them I'm going to do this, but I think they're going to start laughing at me when I pick Cat Peach, and hopefully I can maintain my lead against both of them, and we'll see how that turns out. So let me know what your go-to setup is, and I'll tell you mine right now. It is, here's the tires. I picked the ancient tires with the where is it? There it is. The Master Cycle Zero and Link. Where's he at? We'll scroll. He's there. He's somewhere. The Link's up here somewhere. But that's my setup with the Zelda glider. Wherever the gliders are. Yep, the Zelda paraglider. That we've seen like Tears of Kingdom and all that. But yeah, that's my go-to setup. Just because I'm a huge Link fan, that's what I usually use. Tell me what your go-to setup is down below. I'd love to get more people talking about Mario Kart because we're gonna have fun with it now because it's almost guaranteed the new Switch 2 is going to be released with a new version of Mario Kart. So let's keep playing and having fun with this and get ready for the next one. Until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.